Hi everyone, Phil from Tech for Techs here. Today we're going to be looking at this from Cherry. It's the KC4500 Ergo, or the 4500 Ergo, which basically stands for Ergonomic Keyboard. The recommended retail price for this is £54.99, so if you are interested at any point in purchasing this, please click the link in the description below. Okay, let's have a look at the box for this Cherry KC4500 Ergo. As you can see here, you've got a picture of the keyboard. Looks pretty straightforward. It's got a picture on, or a sticker should I say, what says UK layout. There's no model number on the front. I do wish Cherry would put model numbers on the front of the box. I know most of these are going business to business and so forth, and might not be in a retail store, but still, it's nice to have a model number on the box. It's a bit pointless putting a picture on what looks like the product, even though you're not putting the model number on. It's sort of either or, doesn't work. It needs to have both in reality, but that's really up to them. Side of the box, it says Cherry, shows you a slight side view of the keyboard on one side. The other side does have a serial number and model number, and top just says Cherry. On the bottom, it's pretty straightforward. It says what it is: Cherry KC4500 Ergo, corded Ergo keyboard. Most of it's not in English, but the English part is here. It basically says function and performance. The design of the USB keyboard supports ergonomic posture when using your computer, curved keypad, soft keypad, palm rest, sturdy fold-out feet, and so forth. Their tagline for this is relaxed and comfortable through the whole day's work. And that's what it says on the website anyway. So let's have a look at the product itself. Okay, so this is what's in the box. Believe it or not, you've got a keyboard. You've also got some warranty information there, as well as paperwork telling you how to set it up. Personally, I prefer them to put all that on a QR code, so you can scan it with your smart device. It'll ask you what language you're in, and then obviously it'll give you the information you need to know, rather than having big bits of paperwork like that, which is going to save the manufacturer money. Also allows them to put latest information up to date on the website when people do scan the QR code, and obviously saves the environment in the process. So let's have a look at the keyboard. So first thing to know, it does have sort of a cutout here. That's traditional with most ergonomic keyboards. It's because they want you to position your hands like that rather than like that. Because the human body, the way it goes, your arms don't go straight out in front of you, they go out like that. So they want you to use it more like that. So it's supposed to be more comfortable, better for you, possibly cause less strain, as well as obviously potentially other injuries and so forth. So it does have that slight bend in it. So if you're one of these people who uses one finger to type like that, it's probably not going to make much of a difference to you. But if you are someone who uses the keyboard properly, it might take a bit to get used to it, but it will actually work better for you, or at least better for your body in the long run. So let's have a look at the rest of it. You do have this palm rest on the front, or wrist rest, depending on what you want to call it. It doesn't look like it's detachable. It's not, so you have to use that. So there's no way of getting rid of that. So you better get used to it. But that's the whole idea of the keyboard. It positions everything so it fits your hands. Unfortunately, because I've got slightly longer hands than most people, my hands would probably be here. So the wrist rest doesn't actually work too well for me. But if you've got slightly smaller hands, it'll probably work a little bit better. But again, not everyone is as fortunate as me as having huge hands. But for most normal people, shall we say, you should be alright. So otherwise, there doesn't seem to be much in the way of hot buttons on here other than a calculator. That's obviously going to bring up your calculator. And then you've got a lock button there, which will take you to your lock screen, which will then obviously lock your machine, and if you've got a password set up, ask you for your password. So it's pretty straightforward. The keyboard does have a slight bend to it, as you can probably see there. Again, that's part of the ergonomic design, so your wrists positioned like that, and your hands, obviously, because the way your hands bend, are slightly higher towards the centre of the keyboard than the outside. So obviously that ergonomic design. I'm just going to plug in the USB cable just to show you the caps lock and stuff like that. And there you go, pretty straightforward. Top right hand corner, caps lock's on or off, it lights up, same with number lock, and then scroll lock as well, so not much to see there in all honesty. The USB cable, it's sort of rubberized, it's 1.8 meters long, which is roughly normal. I do like a little bit more length, so 2 meters would have been a bit better, but again, 1.8 is not too bad. The bit what connects to the PC, it's black and red. Personally, I prefer all black, but that's neither on there. Some people will never see that, some people will. Depends on where you're plugging it into your PC, in all honesty. Otherwise, the front of the keyboard, it's got a shiny cherry logo on there. It's plastic, so there's no metal there. Obviously, this wrist rest is made out of plastic on the bottom, and it's sort of I'm guessing it's like a fake leather in there with a bit of foam. So let's turn it over on the bottom. Okay, on the bottom you have got, looks like 4 feet at the front and 3 at the back. That's to stop it sliding. Yep, so it doesn't move. What you've seen on the screen moving there and bumping, that's actually the desk moving, not the keyboard. And then actually the feet on the front do pop out, so it rises the front up again. Most keyboards, these are on the back of the keyboards to rise the back up, but the actual most natural way of doing it is actually having the front higher than the back, even though it might seem a bit strange. If you do get used to it, it could be a bit of an advantage. But again, these don't seem to... Well, they are slightly rubberized on the end of the feet, so that should stop it sliding around as well. So there you go, so that's not moving. Again, that's the table moving, not the actual keyboard. So it's pretty sturdy. Again, there's nothing much else to see on the bottom other than model numbers and a few screws and QC passed and all that. There is no cable cutouts or anything special along there. So otherwise, it pretty much looks like a standard keyboard on the bottom. Obviously, the big selling point is it being ergonomic. It's got that sort of cut in the middle, as I like to call it. It's like a triangle, and you can use, depending on, some people they like using the space bar with the left hand, some use the right, some use both. You can actually get it on both, because that is a space bar sort of split into two there. Typing wise, it's got a slight clickiness to it. I wouldn't say it was the quietest in the world, in all honesty, but I wouldn't say it's the loudest either. So the spacebar does seem a little bit more noisy, is probably the best way. It feels a little slightly cheapish feeling than the rest of the keys, to be honest. It's probably not the best way of putting it. It's just because it's the same material and it's stretched out a bit longer. It feels a little bit more wobbly. As you can see there, the key sort of wobbles than the rest, but otherwise it does seem pretty good, to be honest with you. Again, not my cup of tea. I prefer a standard keyboard. Mechanical is ideal for me, but again, if you're in the office a lot and you want to do a lot of typing, this is probably going to be good for your, as obviously your wrists and hands and so forth, and your posture. So it's an ideal ergonomic keyboard for anyone who obviously likes ergonomic keyboards or wants to get into better habits.